morning, geographers. So, this week we're going to be looking at balancing a changing industrial structure or balancing Nigeria's economy. After last week, you should have a really broad understanding of Nigeria's social, cultural, and political context and their importance in Africa and the wider world. This week, we're going to start applying some of our knowledge about economic growth and about development. And we're going to look at how Nigeria's industry has changed over the last 20 years as their economy has grown. I've got here, we're going to be using the multiplier effect, which we looked at in the last unit when we started looking at ways to reduce the development gap. If you need to refresh your memory, it's page 208 of the development gap chapter. So that's the chapter we were using last time with the red headings. We're using the Nigeria chapter now. By the end of this term, you will be experts on development because this whole unit is looking at how we can apply our understanding to a case study, so to Nigeria, and looking at specific examples of where we've seen some of the things that we studied in development and where we've seen it and where it works and where it might not have worked. If you haven't done DIRT for your end of topic test, you can find the feedback video at the link shown on the screen. I've put timings for each question in the description so you don't have to watch the whole presentation if you're only interested in feedback on a number of questions. So you should be watching that video, looking back at your answers and identifying any ways that you can improve your answers. There will be a link to this video that I'm making right now here. So the first thing you're going to do this week is read pages 224 to 225 of the textbook. Don't forget that we have switched to a new chapter of the textbook and you will find that under files at the top. I've recorded a video of me talking through the textbook, which you can find at this link here. And then you can just take some general notes about how Nigeria's economy is developed. I've put together a worksheet for you to then complete based on your readings. So that's also found in the class materials folder. I've pinned it to the top and it looks just like this. So we're going to match some of the correct definitions to the terms by writing the letter in the blank column. So I've done one for you. We've got a definition here. We've got the term here. So industrial structure is the relative proportion of the workforce employed in different sectors of the economy: primary, secondary, tertiary, and quaternary. If you get to this point and you're thinking, Miss, I don't understand what primary, secondary, tertiary, and quaternary are, if you go back and you watch this video here, I re-explain it and I go over it. So this video, I talk about a little bit more than just the textbook, so I strongly suggest that you do watch that. There are a few, so all of this you should be able to, just when you click edit, you should be able to just write straight into this, so you don't need to worry about printing it off. If you are particularly good at computers, you can do a comparison line graph on here to show that data, or just do it on a separate piece of paper. That's absolutely fine. When we do a comparison line graph, so we want to represent all of the data in this box. So you're going to draw 3 lines for primary, secondary, tertiary to show how much those industries have grown over the course of 16 years. And I've labelled the axes for you as well. So you're just going to put the percentages 0 to 100 there. You're going to put the years. I would suggest going from 2000 to perhaps 2020. And then you're just going to map these percentages. So you should be able to see by the end of it how the 3 industries, how they've changed over the space of 16 years. And similarly, you're going to draw 2 pie charts to show how Nigeria's economy has changed. Now, if you can figure out how to do this on the computer, I will be very impressed. I really struggled. So absolutely you can do this on a separate piece of paper. If you want any feedback or if you're struggling, just take a picture of it and pop it in your file and let me know to go and have a look. And then it does ask you some questions based on the graphs, so you do need to do them. And finally, you're going to finish the worksheet by drawing your own version of the multiplier effect. And then you can add annotations based on the notes in the textbook, so it can help you understand how the multiplier effect has worked in relation to Nigeria. So that's the worksheet. I've got a video here for you to watch that talks about Nigeria's economy and starts to talk about the disparity of wealth. Remember that disparity is like an unequalness there, so like a gap. So we means like there are really wealthy people. There are also some really some people who are living in quite a lot of poverty. And the video goes into that really well. I want you to be a little bit reflective and think about any questions you have about Nigeria's economy, because you will be asked for those in your quiz this week as well, so that we can start identifying any additional gaps in the preparation to return to school. Remember to be as specific as possible. Now, in this video, they talk about the Alumelu Foundation. So Tony Alumelu is a Nigerian economist, and he runs entrepreneurship programs. So we've got his website here, and the link I've given you will take you to this page, which gives you some information about the program. You can also, if you come to impact at the top, you can look at the program that he runs with the United Nations, because we know that Africa are a key player in the United Nations as well. So you can read about that. And if you go down to alumni, you can see all of the people who have been involved in who've benefited from the foundation previously, and you can get an idea of some of the businesses that that the foundation has helped people create. So really go and have a look around, see what sort of businesses people are starting in Nigeria. And then when we come back to the instructions, there's just two questions. What are the advantages and disadvantages of this program? So that's entirely your own opinions, but I do want you to be able to come up with about 3 each. And how can this organization support Nigeria's economic development? So why is this foundation going to help Nigeria to improve their gross national income, and how will it help them to reduce the development gap? Finally, the week's quiz will be posted on Wednesday, and so if you have any questions at all, you can pop me an email. You can put them in the questions and support channel on Teams, or you can email your geography teacher if that is not me. Have a great week, and I will talk to you in this way next week.